Welcome to another Born on This Day ASMR series episode. We are reading again from The Secret Language of Birthdays by Gary Goldschneider and Drew Stelfers. Today is February 28th, the day of Zest. This video has all you need to know about everything zesty. This book is a work of personology. A day is a year, is a lifetime, is an age. Personology combines history, psychology, numerology, tarot, and astrology to form a personality guide for each person based on their day of birth. And I like to read it as a sort of daily devotional, and this book even incorporates what is known as the grand life cycle, where you look at each day of the year as a complete cascade or summation of the human life cycle. It's divided into 4 quadrants, symbolizing the 4 seasons and the 4 distinct ages of man. It says that ideally the ideal human lifespan is to age 84, but I don't really care about that. It's just more that it's interesting to see life in stages. The Pisces Fish is symbolic of the 2 fish that fed mankind. So you are 2 in 1 if you are Pisces. Those born on February 28th have a tremendous zest for life, which they communicate to everyone who meets them. These positive and energetic individuals are able to brighten up most occasions with their vibrant personality. Yet on the other hand, they have a propensity for heading off in entirely the wrong direction, full steam ahead. To make them aware of this is almost impossible when they are caught up in their own enthusiasm. They can be at once assured and positive, dynamic, effective, or destructive, depending on the circumstances. Obviously, those born on this day would do well to sit down and contemplate their direction in life, get to know themselves better, and be more deliberate and purposeful in their actions. Because their energies tend to be diffused and dispersed, and since they can so easily get carried away with new endeavors, February 28th people may adopt an unrealistic attitude toward the world, which causes those near and dear to them a great deal of worry. Part of the problem is that some February 28th people may like having others worry about them and may even engage in dangerous or uncertain activities precisely to get that attention. For those born on this day, it is the actual excitement of events, the sensations that arise both in themselves and in others that keep them feeling vital and alive. However, they must learn to be highly discriminating in their choice of endeavors and involvements, taking on challenges that are not only risky, but also worthwhile and rewarding, not just in the short term, but over a lifetime. Because they choose to live in such a vital and uncompromising way, February 28th people are likely to experience far more of life than the average person. Most born on this day wouldn't have it any other way. On the other hand, uninhibited enthusiasm can lead to carelessness or thoughtlessness, which stands in the way of their serious development. Also, as they mature, February 28th people may find that the negative after effects of their activities begin to outweigh the fun or stimulation. Those born on this day need to imbue their zest for life with understanding. Through both intensely positive and negative encounters, they may eventually come to develop a personal philosophy and deepen their spiritual understanding of life. The question is at what point experience will at last translate into wisdom. For some born on this day, such an evolution takes place quite late in life. For others, not at all. Indeed, it is incumbent It is incumbent on February 28th people to at some point stand removed from life's passing show and observe themselves and others living. The strengths of those born on this day is they are vibrant, alive, and emotionally complex. The weaknesses of those born on this day, they are often over-enthusiastic, excessive, and thoughtless. It is not a strength to be dead, but a strength of being alive means having an abounding sense of being alive. This is to have energy beyond where you apply yourself, and so that's what can lead to being thoughtless or over-enthusiastic. So it's you don't lack supply, you lack direction. You want to direct this energy that is yours to share in a way that benefits other people. Numbers and planets. Those born on the 28th of the month are ruled by the number 1. 28, 2 plus 8 equals 10. 10, 1 plus 0 equals 1. So 28 and 1. Ruled by the number 1 and the sun. Those ruled by the number 1 generally like to be the first in what they do. They are typically individual, highly opinionated, and eager to rise to the top. The sun symbolizes strong creative energy and fire, which is best kept flowing steadily rather than allowed to sporadically flare out of control. The combination of the sun and Neptune, ruler of Pisces, can make February 28th people overly romantic and sensationalistic. The planets. Astrology traditionally speaks of 10 principal heavenly bodies, which can be viewed from the Earth. The 2 luminaries, Sun and Moon, 3 inner planets, Mercury, Venus, Mars, and 5 outer planets, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto. All of these, including Sun and Moon, are called planets, and each represents a different facet of the human personality. The names of the planets largely derive from classical Greek and Roman mythology, and their symbolism from the gods and goddesses which they represent. Every planet serves as an astrological indicator as well as a heavenly body. In this book, the rulership of both astrological signs and numbers by planets gives important clues to the personality of those born on each day. The sun is the giver of life to our solar system. Thus it represents tremendous creative force and generative power. Masculine in orientation, the sun represents the outward drive of the human ego, striving toward unique individual expression, ruling the sign of Leo and the number 1. The sun conveys the force of its central position within the solar system. Sun-influenced people, both men and women, tend to be forthright, demanding, and able to transmit much-needed energy to others. Neptune was the king of the sea in classical mythology, and his trident is symbolized in the glyph of this watery planet. Neptunian people can be profound, dreamy, diffuse, and difficult to pin down. Fantasy-rich, the minds of Pisces and those ruled by the number 7 are often attracted to highly imaginative objects. Neptunian energies invariably exert an irresistibly magnetic influence, able to dissolve away barriers of a more rigid and absolute nature. Tarot, or tarot, as I've heard some people pronounce it. I'm probably pronouncing it wrong. The first card of the major arcana is the Magician, who symbolizes intellect, communication, information, as well as magic. Over his head is an infinity symbol, which in some tarot decks takes the form of a hat, and others a halo. Many interpretations may be drawn, one of which is that the Magician recognizes the cyclical and unending nature of life, and is empowered by this understanding. The positive traits suggested by the first card include diplomatic skill and shrewdness, but negatively lack of scruples and opportunism. This card warns February 28th people against getting carried away with the world of illusion, picking the wrong friends, and using their energies for immoral purposes. The Major Arcana. Far more significant are the 22 cards known as the Major Arcana, which cannot be associated with the modern playing card deck. They are, in all probability, a concentrated version of Hermetic philosophy as later interpreted in the Kabbalah, alchemy, magic, and astrology. They comprise a psychological study of man and his relationship to the world of the spirit and to the physical world. Their symbolism is a type of shorthand for metaphysics and mysticism. Here are truths of so subtle and divine an order that to express them baldly in human language would be a sacrilege. Only esoteric symbolism can reveal them to the inner spirit of the seeker. The major arcana are numbered from 0 to 21, each bearing a title which to some degree describes the card. Each card represents a distinct principle, law, power, or element in nature. The designs on the cards also illuminate the life of man, his joys and sorrows, hopes and despairs. They further indicate his search for the wisdom which enables him to control his passions and help in his transition to higher spheres, where he enters into things of the spirit. Any book on the occult will be more readily comprehended, and any of these of the major arcana can be the foundation for a great deal of meditation and inner enlightenment. And in addition to this, be convinced that there is some power present when the cards are read that directs their distribution. An extra physical power now demonstrated in our universities as psychokinetic effect cooperates with the unconscious muscular activities of the person using the deck and tends to affect the cards as they are shuffled and cut, so that when dealt they fall into positions that have significance in relation to the subject to the reading. The Fool, card number 0, can in a sense be compared to the Joker in the modern deck of cards, in that it has no assigned place in the deck, but stands more or less alone. Some writers on the tarot, in order to carry out their own interpretation, place the Fool between the 20th and 21st cards, but there is no concrete evidence that this card belongs in that position, or for that matter as the first card or last card of the major arcana. Rather, this is a separate card, a third part of the deck, the sum total of all. The Fool is the sum total of all. The keys. The Magician, key 1. The Magician has above his head the cosmic lemniscate shaped like a figure 8 on its side, the symbol of eternal life. Above his waist is a serpent devouring its own tail, a well-known symbol of eternity. In his right hand is a wand raised toward heaven, while his left hand points to the earth. He is drawing power from above and directing it into manifestation. On the table are the symbols of the 4 suits of the minor arcana, signifying the natural elements of life: air, fire, water, and earth. Roses and lilies in the garden about him show the cultivation of desires. He represents the personal will in its union with the divine, which then has the knowledge and power to bring things into manifestation through conscious self-awareness. Divinatory meaning: will, mastery, skill, occult, wisdom, power, diplomacy, the ability to take power from above and direct it through desire into manifestation. Reversed, the use of power for destructive ends, weakness, indecision. Fire that surmounts to only ashes. I added that last part in case you're trying to figure out where is it in the book. I didn't see it. That's what we do here. We just we improvise when we want, and it works out. It sounds cool. Tarot cards have been used for centuries to predict the future, shed light on the past, and reveal the mysterious patterns of character and destiny. And you also reveal your own character and destiny through the way you interpret messages and interpret the world as it is shown to you. Because things are only shown to you in the way you see them or process them. So the challenge of approaching your own character and destiny is to challenge yourself in how you approach it. Health. Those born on February 28th may not have a great awareness of their body and how it works. An objective medical authority with whom they may have regular checkups and health discussions is highly beneficial. And I've noticed this suggestion is being said across a lot of the February birthdays. And it's important to remember that this book was constructed around the personality and history of celebrated figures, famous people, and medical authority can just mean someone who's not shoving pills down your throat. If you're looking for literal advice, look at the advice you give yourself and go from there versus just automatically trusting someone who is a perceived authority. Understand that history doesn't map out your life as accurately as you do. February 28th people must be particularly careful of chronic conditions affecting their lymphatics, venous return, and blood pooling in their lower extremities with advanced age, leading to varicosities. Sounds brutal. A regular exercise schedule involving swimming, jogging, and or yoga is a good combination of thoughtful body work which suits them. And I like that you keep getting recommended swimming and yoga and all that good stuff, because thoughtful body work in general is what every good exercise consists of. I don't think any form of exercise is unthoughtful, because it wouldn't be exercise at that point. Those born on this day usually like to both cook and eat, so they do not need much encouragement in this respect. Advice: cultivate your contemplative side and confront the important questions of your existence. Don't get carried away with thrills and sensation. That which makes you feel alive must adapt to the aging process. So in other words, don't feel alive because you're aging and you're getting old. So just drop that immediately. Thanks. Oh, and I need to rewind it a little bit because I ran out of footage to do closing ceremonies and your daily meditation. If you're wondering why I'm eating with a spoon out of the mug, it's because there are bits of turmeric that didn't mix in the tea. So I'm trying to scoop that up because turmeric is good for inflammation. Supposedly Nostradamus used turmeric to help himself gaze into the future using candlelight. Whatever. Meditation, the object of one's enthusiasm, is at least as important as the enthusiasm itself. So, your enthusiasm needs direction. So what you direct your enthusiasm toward is what serves your enthusiasm more than the expression of the enthusiasm. And that's interesting. So, in a way, you're naturally enthusiastic, which is good. Share that with some people today because they need it. And thank you for watching. Glad you're here. This has been another ASMR series. Another episode of the ASMR series. And I will see you again tomorrow. Be sure to like and subscribe if you are new to this channel. Let me know what you liked about this episode. And I will see you later. Weaknesses of those born on the stage, enthusiastic, excessive, excessively not positive, strength of those born on the stage, thereby weaknesses come to be strength, so these qualities to vibrate alive, emotional states. They come from a place of energy application, where you apply emotional stages alive. Emotions complex, hinges itself the motion. So your weaknesses are the only it's just intuitive and vibrant. The state of enthusiasm to be the application is emotionally shallow, guides you the most. Part of how I know that is because I've read ahead. The meditation has to do with that too.